Hi, it's Vicky here with another card making video. Today I'll be using this stamp set by the Alleyway Stamps. This is called Got It Covered, and I'll be using some cute images. That's the small boat as well as the clouds. So I have a piece of white cardstock and I'm cutting it down to 4x4. So I'll end up with a square piece, and this is going to be my focal point on my card. I also have some pattern papers. These are all from the same pattern paper collection, and I'll be linking all the supplies that I'm using just below the video on my YouTube channel as well as on my blog. I've decided to use this pattern paper, which is a map, and I'm cutting it down to 4x4 also, and I'll also cut down 2 strips of this blue paper. This paper actually has waves on it. There is a wave pattern, and I'm going to create the sea out of it. But first I'll stick down the square map, and this is going to cover up the whole background. And now I'll go ahead and use my scissors and just follow the lines of the waves. I'm not being very precise, and this is not going to be perfect in any way. But if you go ahead and try to do that, just make sure that you don't move your scissors but only your paper. So I have these 2 strips of paper now that they are ready to go, and I have applied adhesive at the bottom of this strip as well as foam squares at the top. So I'm trying to create a bit of dimension for my waves there. I'll go ahead and stick it lightly down just to make the measurements and decide where the rest of the waves is going to go. So now that I know where the second piece is going, I'll just make sure that I'll stick it down straight. As you can see, I'm using the grid on my mat to make sure that this is straight, and then I'll stick the second layer of the waves on top of it. So now I have a bit of dimension, as you can see, and I'll just use my scissors and cut out the excess. And now I'll go ahead and create my little boat. I am planning to paper piece that boat, so I'll be using 2 colors of pattern paper, the navy blue as well as the red. I'm using Versamark ink, and I'll white emboss the boat twice. I'll also go ahead and stamp the boat on a piece of white cardstock. This is heavy cardstock, and I'm going to paper piece the boat on top of that. By doing so, I will end up with an element that is nice and heavy, and will look more finished on the final card. So now I'm using my scissors and cutting out the 2 pieces, and I'll stick them down using my glue pen. Now, by using my scissors, I'll cut out the boat. At first I was going for the flag as well, but I decided that it was too small to cut it out. I was planning to add another flag, like a ribbon or a piece of thread to look like a flag, but I totally forgot at the end. Still, it looks nice without a flag. To make my background more interesting, I decided to stamp these cute little clouds, and I'm going to white emboss them. And it seems that I can't stay away from summer themed cards lately, but the summer is here for good in Greece. It's nice and warm, and the schools are off. You'll see my daughter Maria is helping me on this card later on. I did a big mess out of my embossing powder there. So after cleaning up my mess, I'll go ahead and stamp my clouds again one more time, and then I'll apply my embossing powder. And although you can't probably see the powder at the moment, it will pop out once it melts with the heat gun. For my sentiment, I'll be using the Hello Speech Bubble. This is a stamp set by the Alleyway Stamps, and I'll be using archival ink, that's cobalt, to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to use my scissors and cut around the speech bubble, leaving just a small white border all around. Leaving a white border when you cut out your images isn't difficult. All you have to remember is not to be in a hurry. You have to move slowly. I'm using foam squares at the back of the boat as well as at the back of the speech bubble, and I'll be sticking the boat between the two layers of waves that I have created. I just love the dimension that this brings to my card. And as I have already mentioned in other videos, when I try to create a nautical card, I always like to follow some guidelines. So I try to bring in some stripes on my project. I have this pattern paper of the sea that with the clouds that looks like stripes. I also like to bring red and dark blue. And by bringing in some gold, it always makes a difference. So as I always do on my nautical cards, I like to add those eyelets. So I'm using my crocodile there to secure them at the bottom of my piece. And then I'll use some thick thread and I'll try to create a knot. I've done that in another video, but I'll share it one more time. So that's the process of creating a knot, and I'll just thread it through the holes there. Today I'm creating a square card that's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm cutting down this dark pattern paper to this size, and this is going to cover up the whole card front. You can see I have Maria with me, and she's helping me to put this card together. And to stick my main piece on top of this card, I'll be using foam squares at the back, and it's always nice to have small little fingers to peel off those small foam squares. I have these small foam squares forever, and I have tons of them, so I decided that I need to use them and not just keep them in the drawer. So having Maria around me is really handy. Once this piece is ready, I'll stick it on top of my card, making sure that it's nice and centered, and then I'll use some Wink of Stella glitter pen on top of it. And I guess that's the card for today. I hope you had fun and got inspired, and if you did so, make sure to subscribe or click a big thumbs up just below the video. Thank you all for watching.